All right. You ready?
No, I'm upset.
Well, you better be ready. It's 2020.
2021.
2021.
It's too late.
You're right. It's 2021. So, gotta be all presentable. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Cedar Cove Farms. It is 2021.
Yay.
Yay.
Maybe. Could be worse.
It could be
We
worse.
don't know yet.
Maybe 2022 will be better. I don't know. Anyways, it's 2021. And in today's video, we thought it'd be a good idea to discuss our plans for this upcoming year.
Give you guys an idea what we're looking at doing.
So to start all off, we're kind of in the dead of winter. I'd say the pre-spring of it all. So the first thing that we kind of been looking at is what are we going to do here for the spring? It's all about planning, right? So getting everything ready, planning, all that fun stuff.
Right. So the first thing that is on the plan for end of winter, pre-spring, is to sell the hay from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 250 bales stored in the hayloft right now. I've been able to sit on that to save it to sell it here in January, February. People are starting to run out. We could store it so you can get a little more money if you can save it till the end of winter. Once the hay is sold, the next thing is to start researching grass seeds. Our backyard, pitiful, worthless. Our hay fields, not much better. They produce hay, but it's not much.
Well, we got one good cutting this year.
Yeah.
The first cutting and the second one was non-existent.
In this area, guys 5 miles away from us will get 3 good cuttings a year.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the plans is to research and find a better grass for sandy soils. That's what we're dealing with. So to get something in there for not only the hay production, but also grass for our backyard. That was just pretty pitiful. We've got a lot of fertilizer in there now from having the meat chickens run in our backyard over the fall. So getting some good grass seed that's meant to grow in these conditions will be good.
So kind of transitioning from grass seed, I'm also going to try something new this year. I am going to start my vegetable garden from seed. So I have started a setup in the basement. Haven't quite got it completely going because it's a little too early. But I'm a few shelves, put a few grow lights on it, and I'm going to start my seeds from the very beginning. I'm not going to buy plants at a garden store this year. I'm going to try and start everything from scratch myself this year. So something new. Hopefully it works out, because we all know when I try something new, it takes a little bit of a learning curve for me to actually get successful. So.
And once we get that up and running, we'll make sure to get you guys a tour just to show kind of what we're doing and give you live reviews. Does it work? Does it not work? Yeah. Things we would do differently. And the last thing for pre-spring planning is getting our chicken orders in. Mm-hmm. So last year, pandemic,
craziness.
We waited because we didn't know there'd be a pandemic. It turned out everyone decided they needed to order chickens. I'm sure lots of those chickens have found new homes by now from people learning what happens after chicks grow up.
I love it. People think in their heads, they're like, oh my goodness, there's, people, they ran out of food in the grocery store. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy 1 week old chicks and make food out of it. And I just have to laugh because it sounds so much simpler than it actually is.
Turns out it takes 6 to 8 months for a chicken to lay an egg.
Yeah.
Who knew? We did.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have to look into getting our meat chickens ordered for the fall. Even though we won't be getting them to the fall, we want to at least get our orders reserved. And then we've got right now probably 6 to 10 egg hens that should be laying eggs. With it being the dead of winter, we're not really sure right now. But do we need more egg chickens? Do we not need more egg chickens? What do you guys think? Let us know down below. That's still kind of up for debate right now. And
really determining, do we buy more and diversify, or do we hatch out what we have? Because we've done both, and they both worked out well for us.
So that's kind of the sum of our pre-spring plans. As we roll into spring, the first thing will be tilling up the backyard and getting that grass seed planted. We've got a tiller that goes behind the tractor, so we can till 4, 5, 6 feet at a time. We'll get that tilled in and work that grass seed in to give it the best kind of bed that we can. Mm-hmm. And from there, we'll kind of move into the garden.
I have 2 beds existing right now. I plan on probably getting another bed created. Don't know how big or what size, but At least right now, one of my beds is taken up with garlic that I planted here last fall. And if my seed starts come to fruition, like I hope, I'm probably going to need a lot more space. Got to get those raised beds in because.
And you guys came along with us when we got that hog feeder.
Mhm.
That's the purpose of that, right? To make another raised bed. So taking that apart, getting a spot for it, and getting it filled up with dirt. With the gardens planted, both the garden and the grass seed, as well as overseeding the hay fields, the next step would be to fertilize and potentially put down herbicides once that grass start gets up high enough. Out in the hay fields, we have a bit of a weed problem, sandbur and horse nettle in particular. Looking into having the local co-op come out, spray the fields for herbicide, but also putting down a fertilizer so we can try and get a little better growth, especially out of that hay pasture, get a little better yield out of that. And then the last springtime activity is to prepare for pigs. So we want to get a couple pigs, 2 or 3, and actually run them out in one of our pastures. Getting a waterer set up, feeders, fencing, getting that all set up. It's all things we have. We're going to use our electric chicken netting to fence them in. We've got a waterer. It just needs to move from inside to outside. We've got feeders, and then just picking the pigs up. The plan is to get those pigs late spring, kind of that May, June time frame. Feeder pig, so we'll get it. It'll already be a few weeks old. It'll already be weaned. Feeder pigs, about 6 months. So we'll be processing that end of November, early December when it's cold enough outside that pig can hang and age a little in the cold.
Yep. And that'll get us through spring. That's quite a lot we got bit going on. Both of us still work full time, so you'll be in and out, I'll be in and out. So don't want to take on too much this year because we just don't know what's going to come, especially we're kind of still in the pandemic, but we're starting to get out of the pandemic and we don't know when and where we're going to be working yet. So we just got to take a little bit here and there and just kind of slowly get into this thing, not go hog wild.
Yeah, so I travel a bit for my job, so I can't take on too many things in the spring because that's my big travel season. As we transition out of spring into summer, summer gets a little easier. It's not as much new things or starting things, it's maintaining. So watching over those pigs, watching over the gardens, getting a cut or 2 of hay in. It really depends on water, how the fertilizer goes.
Yeah.
But summer's more just to maintain, keep everything going kind of period.
Oh yeah, I think the big thing, especially for me, is going to be weed control. The biggest difference for me between a successful garden and an unsuccessful garden is if it's overtaken with weeds. I found I can do anything else, but if I can't control the weeds, it just is so disheartening.
If you guys have any good tips for that, we would take them. We've tried things in the past. We try new things every year. Some have worked better than others.
Yeah.
But if you've got any tips on that, we'll definitely shoot them down in the comments below. We'd love to try them out.
So then that kind of transitions to fall, right? So fall is a time, starting to harvest everything that we planted. So there's going to be a lot of work there, whether we use it or we donate it. Definitely there's some opportunity there.
Hopefully we have a harvest, right? That's the goal.
Yep.
All this work, hopefully there's something there.
The fact that there's a shadow of doubt is very, very apparent and very true. I have more faith every year that I won't kill something.
So fall brings on the meat chickens. So we, I guess it's been a month and a half since we processed our meat chickens this year. We'll look to do the same thing again. We try and process that week after Thanksgiving. Tends to be a good timeline. It's cold enough out. You're not worried about cooling the birds down, but it's also not so hot when you first get them. You're worried about heat exhaustion or that it's so cold that they're not putting weight on at the end for their last couple weeks. So harvesting the meat chickens and harvesting the pigs. They should be fully grown about that time. So getting them from the pasture to the freezer.
And it's going to be different. We're not going to rely on a butcher to do any of this. We're going to do it all ourselves. We've always done meat chickens ourselves. This will be the first year that we will do a pig. But we've had some friends that we've gained some experience from. At least something there for us to work on. If not, YouTube, right? So
right.
We're not going in blind, but it's going to be an experience.
And we'll try and bring you guys along with us to learn. It'll be our first time. You can see what it's like.
And see what mistakes we make.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be perfect. It's going to be great.
So that'll be kind of the wrap up of fall. It's that harvesting the gardens, harvesting the meat that we graze, and that moves us kind of into winter. So before the ground freezes, what we really want to do is make sure on those gardens we get those worked up. So it's better, it's easier to prepare it in the fall, get things worked up. Garlic, you start in the fall, right? So we'll get that stuff kind of going, and then working on any repairs that we have that we didn't have to do it right away, but needs to be done, right?
So with fall, then that brings us in the dead of winter, which this is where we were this time last year.
And here we are.
Here we are, right? So got our whole next year planned out. Obviously, there's a few things that we're probably missing, and we'll talk them in different videos. But I mean, besides just kind of keeping what we got going, the status quo, slowly building here and there, we'll still go to auctions because I gotta love my auctions. We're still looking for a few additional pieces to round out our, especially our hay production. Still looking for a disc mower.
Yep. If I can get a bigger disc mower, get a disc mower, but a bigger mower. The tractor we have has more than enough power to handle one, and it would save some time there. That's kind of our plans moving into 2021.
Come along with us.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out to hear us today, listening to us here.
Mm-hmm. So if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, leave a comment on any future videos that you would like to hear from us or get us our perspective on.
We'll definitely answer any questions you have. Throw those down below. Remember, you hit that bell icon. That gets you notified when our new videos come out. We're trying to get on a regular cadence here in the new year. So
thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. It really keeps us going, and it's a really fun hobby for me, at least for the past couple of months, and I'd like to continue kind of doing this, and I really appreciate you guys watching our videos. So thanks.
We'll catch you next time.